So it's only been a week and I just thought I would show you guys this because I am super excited. These things just took off crazy. We got like a day here or there that was sunny but mostly rainy, and these things just bolted like mad. Not bolted like how lettuce bolts and then it's not good, but like took off like good way. Look at all these flowers in here. All these little cucumbers starting to grow. This is gonna be a good year for cucumbers. These pepper plants here, same thing, they're starting to grow. Lovely little peppers are forming on almost every single plant. They are happy and thriving. That's already getting pretty good size. The weather this year has been crazy. These ones over here are not as big. They don't have as many of the actual peppers on them. And I realized this is crazy. This was in the greenhouse. It basically got burnt in the greenhouse, but it's still holding on. It's weird looking now. It's all like kind of purpley yellow. But look at that. It's got a tomato trying to grow on that bad boy. I'll let it keep doing its thing. But that section, when the sun comes up, stays in the shade. Not shade, but not direct sun. That kind of blocks it, dilutes the light a little bit. Right here, for a good hour at least in the morning, while these are getting sun, those are not, and you can clearly see the difference. These ones get an extra hour or so of sun, and these ones do not. Big difference. They were planted the exact same time, and everything else is the same. But yeah, those cucumbers are taking off. They're going down that trellis. I got stuff coming over this side that I'm debating on if I should put something here to support these as they climb down. Those guys in there, those pepper plants, look at this. These are in the greenhouse. They kind of got burnt. Too hot. It was too hot in that greenhouse. But those were planted. These got put in a pot at the same time that those ones got put in the ground. And you can see the difference between outside here in the raised beds. Full sun, partial sun, greenhouse. Crazy. And these are squash. Some of them are almost ready to pick. They're getting close to the size that I like them. Over here, look at that one right there. That one is, I'd say tomorrow I'm gonna probably pick that one because that's good size for me, the way we like them. And then there's several back there that are real close. Same thing if we duck under here. That one's still pretty scrawny, but that one over to the right, that one is getting close. So tomorrow or the next day I'll pick at least one or two. And then the microgreens here, they're not so micro. I've cut these already twice to make salads, and I'm gonna come out here and cut these again. That same thing with the lettuce here. I've cut off several rounds off of that, and I'll come back out in a couple more days and take a few more leaves off of those. This is a little what do they call it, a volunteer tomato or whatever. It just decided to grow on its own. We didn't actually plant any tomato in here. I'm gonna see what it does. I might see if I can sort of train it and tease it to lay down here and go along the side of this instead of trying to grow it up with a trellis or a stake. See what that does. Who knows? Yeah, wasn't planning on having it anyways. Those leeks, I split these two. They were like right there in the same spot, so I split it with this shovel, the little hand shovel, and replanted this one. It looked real sad for a day or two, and now it's back to good These are the jalapeno plants that probably won't make it to the point of giving us any peppers this year, but I threw seeds in the ground and then I thinned it out to where there was only one per, instead of these were like clusters of 2 or 3 at each of those spots. And then I'll watch and see as those get bigger, whichever one starts to actually take over, and I'll clear the other ones out of the way. But like this one here, you can see these ones are doing even better. That's the biggest one out of this group here. That one, this cluster, I actually didn't thin that cluster. I didn't notice it, I guess. So I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to get rid of this one. And I'm probably going to get rid of both of these ones. Just leave that one right there to see what he does. Or she, I don't know, whatever. That one's doing alright. That's spaced out enough. These two here are obviously smaller than this one. So for right now, just so that I'm not wasting any time, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those ones. Try to get the whole root out. That tiny little guy hiding behind there is not going to grow enough. It's too close anyway. So I just kind of give them a tug. Depending on how it goes, these two seem to be too close to each other, but we'll see. If they stay the same size as they keep growing, I might just let them go next to each other and see how it works. That one's, I don't think that's actually, maybe it is. I don't know, I'm pulling it out. No, that was a weed. Some of these little weeds, they're tricky. They look very similar to what they're growing next to. What are you down here? You're a weed of some kind that I don't really want to grow here. Even if you're not a weed, I don't want you to grow here. So there's that. This is one thing I love about these raised beds. I don't have to squat, bend, kneel, none of that to do this. I'm standing right up straight, having a great time doing what I'm doing here. No pain in the back, knees, nothing. I don't know what these are. I think they might be cilantro. Last year we had a really good crop of cilantro. There's another one right here. Looks like it's growing. And what I did, I let a bunch of it just go to seed, and then I dried it. There's another one right there. I'm not going to pull those out. I'm going to let them keep growing, and hopefully they actually give us some cilantro. But I had a bunch of seed that I threw out in the yard, and I actually, let me walk this way and show you exactly where I did this, and this might make sense if you watch the other videos. Right here we had the big pallet that all the siding came with. Now it's sitting over there, but it killed all the grass. It was just dirt underneath when I finally moved it. So at the end of the season, I took all of the extra dry seeds I had from the cilantro and I spread them all in the ground here. But then I dug out the base where the greenhouse ended up going, and I piled that pile of dirt right here. And then after I built the raised beds, I used pretty much all of that dirt in the raised beds. So the stuff on the top of the raised beds was on the bottom of that dirt pile, and guess what was mixed with it? Cilantro seeds. So I believe that's why those are growing in there, because they were mixed in with the soil. And so there's a handful that took off. They did their thing. They're doing their thing. There were some other ones around here and there, but where the squash and cucumbers are, they have no chance. They don't stand a chance at all. I don't think there's any in the mix over here with the microgreens. If I see anything that looks like cilantro, I'm letting it grow even with the microgreens, and I'm just cutting them with them. Actually, look at this. I believe that might be it right there too. And I've already cut that at least once, along with a bunch of these other microgreens that I've cut. And so they just go in. They're good. You can eat them. They got flavor. There's one right there too. So I guess they are over here. I wasn't really paying that much attention until I started talking to you guys, and now I'm looking and looking at what I see in there. So there's a couple of clover. I'm going to leave the clover. You know why? Because it's edible, and I can cut that off and it'll go in the mix. But I'm going to pull the other thing there because I don't know exactly what it is. And I just don't feel like playing around with something that I'm not sure about. So yeah, there's that. This is something that makes a flower. I've actually seen them. They just have a small little single flower. They're kind of neat looking, but I don't want it in my raised bed. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. Just kind of going through. There's another one, look, see that? So yeah, they're mixed in there. And I'm letting them, if I have a little bit of clover like this I believe looks to be a very small little dandelion. I'm not pulling those out because those can go right in the mix. They're good, they're edible, they're nutritious. The rest of it is just stuff that grew with the microgreen mix. And like I said, we've harvested that twice. I'll definitely get a third one tomorrow. Not right now. I'm heading back inside. It's been sprinkling off and on, so thought I would share the cucumbers. So it's happening. Hopefully it's happening over where you are too, and you're growing something wonderful and delicious. And like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, do what you want to do or not, but definitely come back and watch the next video. We'll see ya.